off into the 60s for tonight, but near average temperatures will continue for the start of the work week with highs in the mid 80s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm WOWT 6 meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents Nebraska's #1 independent computer repair company with offices in Omaha and Lincoln. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. 402, nope. See, I told you I was going to do that. We have a brand new call-in number, folks. Brand new number that you can call into the program and ask a question or make a comment. This is going to be cool. We got a few more phone lines now so that we can get a few more calls in during the show. That's always the main goal that we have here on the program, is to make sure that we're getting your questions answered. We also have a whole lot of new audio tech. I won't go into all the details, the behind-the-scenes stuff. If you want to know what's going on, you can stay tuned after the program and listen to the After Schrock show. It's streaming live on Facebook right now, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. You can check that out up there, and you can listen to that after the end of the show, and I'll fill you in on all the details of what's going on. But basically, I'm officially to the point now where I really should have multiple monitors to track what's going on in the studio. I think my audio levels are good in studio, so if Winston or any of my other fans on Facebook want to tell me how the audio levels sound on Facebook, specifically if there is audio on Facebook, we're double teaming some equipment today, all right? So, Winston, I see that you're liking things there. You let me know how the audio sounds. Winston is the unofficial audio tech for the Compute This radio program. All right, so the call-in numbers today. Sounds great. Thank you, Winston. The audio sounds good. Thanks. Appreciate that. The call-in numbers, brand new. It's 866-496-8772. Now, you can always use the old numbers. They still work. We just aren't talking about them anymore because this show now is being carried on multiple stations. And so we have to have one number that's consistent for all the stations. And then if people, some stations don't play Compute This at the same time as we air it. Compute This is live Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. Well, some stations play it on Saturdays, right? Well, if you want to call in, you have to call 866-496-8772 on Sunday morning from 7 to 8. Makes sense, right? But if you call 866-496-8772 in the spirit of customer service, we can't just let that call go to a voicemail box or let it ring busy. That's what I do. You ever tried to call Rush Limbaugh when his show's not on? Call his 800 number, or do you ever try to call any national host when their show's not on? Dave Ramsey. You call Dave Ramsey when he's not on the air. It just rings. It doesn't go anywhere. It rings busy. Our number will actually ring through to a service center. So if you're hearing the broadcast and you have a question, just because it's not live on the radio, you can still call in and ask your question. Now, obviously, you won't be qualified to win, the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, because you have to call Sunday mornings to do that. But the number to call to get on the program is 866-496-8772. Now, we have never, ever used that 800 number for a Compute This program, so this is a historic moment. This is a historic moment where you could be the first person ever to call into Compute This using the new toll-free number. I mean, you could get a certificate or something. I don't know. It'd be pretty cool. Also, a couple program notes. We have a major announcement coming up for Schrock Innovations that's going to impact a lot of our customers. That announcement is going to be made tomorrow on the Omaha Morning Blend. You can watch that at 9:25 here in Omaha. If you're not in the Omaha metro area, it will be available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations as well after the fact. I've thought about live streaming that before, but I don't know. It's like when you're live streaming radio, it's kind of like you're adding a visual component. So there's added value there. When you're live streaming television, kind of feel like, yeah, hey, I'm here to be on your TV, and let me put my little camera here. There you go. Because your multi-$1,000 cameras just aren't good enough to replace my phone. All right. So 866-496-8772 to join us on the program this morning. So like I said, major announcement coming tomorrow. Don't miss that. We might drop you some hints during the After Schrock here coming up on the show. But the big thing, the numero uno thing that I have to communicate with you today, as in today, right now, is the final day. There are no more days after today for you to take advantage of the preventative maintenance checkup sale. So you're not going to be after today. Today at 5 p.m. it all ends. It's done. No more certificates. No more coming in for the special half-off maintenance sale. You have to come in today, or you have to purchase your certificate today. So let me go through this real quick and tell you, if you're just coming back from vacation or something, or you're new to the program and you have no idea what's going on, this is what it's all about. Now, computers, like any other piece of equipment, require maintenance to keep them working the way you want them to work, right? You can't just expect your computer to continue working, although we do, right? You expect your refrigerator to work every day. When's the last time you maintenance that? You expect your car to every time you turn the key, you expect that car to turn on, right? When's the last time you've maintenance that? Well, we maintenance the cars a little more often. You expect your air conditioner to turn on every time the thermostat says the temperature drops below a certain point. Sometimes people do maintenance. My dad's big maintenance on the air conditioner and the heater. He's got his annual inspections. He has a contract or something, and they come in and they do it. But lots of people I know don't. You expect your phone to ring when someone calls you. You don't maintenance your phone, right? So there's this weird never land where there's things that we know, these mechanical devices that require maintenance, and then there is the technological items that really don't require maintenance or don't require a lot of maintenance. So where does your computer fall into that? So here's the thing. Your computer, 9 times out of 10, probably 9.9 times out of 10, will turn on just fine with no maintenance. You push the power button, it will turn on, and it will boot up. 9.9 times out of 10, when you click the internet button to get on the internet, it will get on the internet. But with a computer, it's not, nobody asks with your refrigerator, how efficient is my refrigerator cooling right now? Is my refrigerator cooling 10% less efficiently than it was last month? Is my air conditioner taking an extra couple minutes to cool the house down as opposed to, when it was new? Maybe if I blew the coils out, I could get a 10% efficiency boost. Nobody really thinks about their equipment like that, but with your computer, you experience it. So all of a sudden, you see a 10% decrease in performance, and if your computer takes 30 or 45 seconds to boot, all of a sudden, it's closer to a minute after a few months. After 6 months, it can be 25% slower. And that adds up. When you're typing on your computer, you're typing the keystrokes along on your word processor, and all of a sudden it freezes, but you keep typing, and then all of a sudden, brr, 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 all the characters come up behind you. And you're like, okay, it caught up, but that's really annoying. Or maybe you're turning on the computer and you have time to go make a sandwich and eat it and come back and drink a cup of coffee before the thing is booted and ready to go. Or perhaps you're clicking on an internet window, and there's so many ads and so many pop-ups that by the time everything gets done loading, you've forgotten why you were getting on the internet in the first place. Those are all really great signs, aside from the obvious, like if your computer roars when you turn it on, but then calms down. That's bad. That's a bad fan. Air is like blood to a computer. If you have a fan that goes bad, the obvious stuff. You clean the air filter in your dryer, right? When you clean the air filter in your dryer, that's to make the clothes dry because it can move air through. Well, inside your computer, it gets clogged up with dust too, and it can't move air. And so the computer is programmed, okay, the faster I go, the hotter I get. So what makes sense is if I'm too hot, if I go slower, I can lower the heat levels down to a point where I can maintain them. What you experience that as a human as? Slow computer. Very slow computer. Even though you spent a lot of money on it, even though it used to be super fast, all of a sudden it's slow. And then on top of that, the square footage of your house never changes. Your air conditioner is cooling the same square footage that it was cooling when you put... Now, okay, so you put a sunroom on. All right, it's a sunroom. Come on. Barring the addition of a room or a log cabin or whatever you've added onto your house, your air conditioner is cooling the same space. The cubic square feet of your refrigerator never increases. It's always cooling the same space with the same resources, right? So as long as you maintain it and all things are equal, everything will work fine. That's not true with your computer. Every time you get an update, a Windows update, an Adobe update, anytime you get one of these updates, your computer is running a little bit slower because it's doing more. Think about it work. If you have 10 people in your office and you're doing all this work, and the boss comes in and says, hey, budget cuts, we got to cut half the work staff, but we're going to do the same amount of work with half the people, and we have no technological way to increase your productivity, so you guys are just going to have to do more. Well, the work will all get done, but it might take a little bit longer because those 5 people that are left have to do twice the work. They can only there's only so many hours in the day. Tesla just released their new sedan, their $35,000 or $30,000 sedan or whatever. You can't buy it yet, obviously. Well, you could put your money down, but you can't get it yet. But they just released the first ones rolled off the line. And Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, is an engineer, and he thinks like an engineer. He is famous for, like, okay, if I have a chart that tells me each step of this process will take an hour, and I know you're going to be awake for 18 hours in a day, and if there are 18 one-hour tasks on this chart, that means you should be able to complete all 18 of them in a single day. It's math, right? And his staff is like, Elon, sometimes it's nice to, like, go to the bathroom, okay, or eat a sandwich or something, Just because there's 18 hours in the day doesn't mean you're going to get 18 hours of productivity. We're humans. People get sick. People don't feel good. People slow down. People speed up. People have personal problems. You don't get 18 hours in a day out of a human if they're working, first of all, 18 hours? But anyway, you get the drift. Now, your computer, on the other hand, it has a fixed amount of resources. It came with a certain amount of memory and a certain speed processor and a certain speed of hard drive. Those 3 things don't change unless you pay money to change them. As a result, the demands that are placed on your computer continue to increase and increase and increase. And over time, the computer will get all the jobs done. It will get the updates done. It will get everything done. However, what ends up happening over time is that it takes a little bit longer to do those tasks, and a little bit longer. Not enough that you would notice, but after 6-8 months, the aggregate delay is noticeable. In other words, if you went back in time and sat down beside yourself 6 months ago, you'd say, man, this computer's future is terrible. Look how slow it is. So that's what maintenance does for a computer. It takes about 8 hours for us to do a full maintenance checkup on a computer, sometimes longer if you have a holiday special. So it takes a good 8 hours. Normally, a preventative maintenance checkup is $90. We put them on special twice a year for half off, $45. This is the final preventative maintenance checkup sale of 2017. It will not be on sale again this year. No amount of begging, pleading, or circumstance will change that. This is it. It's done. The promotional calendar is full for the rest of the year. You want to hear something sick? Husker football starts next month. And then we're into September before you know it. We're prototyping the holiday special. And then at the end of October, we release it. And then it's Christmas time. The promotional calendar is full for the rest of the year. Right now is the time for us, if they have the hordes of people coming in with computers, so we can get everything done. Now, the guys in the shops have done an amazing job of keeping up this year with the demand. Now, part of that is because we have shifted some of that demand. When customers bring computers into us, a lot of computer repair shops look at a computer on the bench and say, okay, we have 1,000 computers to get done. Wow, let's get them done. When we look at the bench, we say, there might be a bunch of computers in here, but each one of these computers represents someone's digital life. Someone is giving up time doing things they like to do to make sure their computer is maintained and working properly. We should not keep that computer in this service center a single hour longer than it needs to be here. We need to get it up, get it done, get it down, and back to the customer fast. I'm always drilling my guys on sense of urgency. Big pet peeve. The guys in the back, so once in a while we don't have a front desk, right? So, because, no one can work 7 days a week, and each shop has one front desk. So there's 2 days a week when we don't have a front desk. The guys, on the days we don't have a front desk, they love to work all day long, and at the end of the day, at like 7 o'clock, they go up front and say, oh, time to invoice stuff. And they go through all the work orders they finish that day and invoice them up. And then by the time they're done calling everybody, it's like 7:30. And everybody says, what time do you close? And we say 8. And they say, oh, I guess I'll come tomorrow, even though the computer's been done for half the day. Huge pet peeve of mine. You guys, we didn't bust our rumps to get it done so it could sit in a basket for 6 hours when a customer could be coming in to get their computer. One of our people could be coming in to get their computer and taking it home and have it tonight. What happens if it's a weekend, right? What happens if they have plans? Like, then they don't have it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Come on. What if there's a holiday in there and we're closed on Monday? Because, it's like, whatever day. Oh my gosh, come on, guys. So when you're done, you drop it, you invoice it, you call the customer. In that order. Don't call the customer and then invoice it, because eventually what will happen is you'll get behind and customers will come in and they have to stand there while you invoice it. Again, not great service. So the guys have done a really great job of keeping that sense of urgency, and as a result, the turnaround times are not bad at all. Papillion has a small queue right now. That will be taken care of, I believe, probably by tomorrow. We'll be out of queue, depending on what comes in today, of course. Omaha is out of queue, which is great. Part of that is because they have 40 bench spots, so they can put all 40 up, and it takes 8 hours per computer, and a lot of these tasks are semi-automated, so we can have one technician just go down a line of 20 computers and start task, go back to the beginning, next task, and actually move through them pretty quick. The Lincoln Service Center has a small queue as well, but nothing like it used to be. People in Lincoln that have been with us from the beginning, you understand what happens during preventative maintenance sales. So why are all the shops relatively caught up? Because we started selling certificates on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. Now, what the certificates do is you can go to SchrockInnovations.com and you can click on Shop and Specials, and you can pick up a preventative maintenance checkup certificate. You pay the $45 now as if you were bringing your computer in, but the certificate is good for 6 months. So here's how this works. Number one, if you can't go without your computer for a day right now or two, get a certificate. That way, when we're slow, like around after back to school in September, we have a little bit of a slowdown. So when we're slow, you'll hear me on the radio say, hey guys, we're a little slow right now. If you have a preventative maintenance checkup certificate, now's the time to bring it in. You can always call and ask if, what's the bench look like? Do you have open bench spots? And if we do, you can bring it in at that point too. But it gets you a faster turnaround time. Number two, sometimes the computer's not here. If you have students away at school, the preventative maintenance checkup certificate is an excellent way for you to get a certificate and hold on to it until one of your students is back in town and can use it at that point. That's a great plan there too. Number three is you can get multiple certificates. Now, because a lot of people have multiple computers in their home, if you have any Windows-based device needs maintenance, whether it's a modular tablet, whether it's a laptop, whether it's a desktop, they all need preventative maintenance. So if you have all three devices, you're obviously not going to bring in all three at once. Buy 3 certificates. Use it whatever order, whenever you like. You don't even have to have the paper with you when you come in. We keep a record of it in our service center. And the best part is when you buy it online, the computer, the system, the website can send you a reminder email before it expires to let you know your certificate is about to expire. Make sure you use it now. So those are all great reasons to take a look at those certificates on the website. While you're there as well, I mentioned this last week, and it was weird because I did a whole segment on this last month, and then I just mentioned it last week, and it was crazy. We almost sold out. But we have some refurbished Windows 10 modular tablets on the website under specials. They're $200 instead of the normal $500. They are refurbished. They only have a 90-day warranty on them. Basically, if a customer bought a tablet and 6 months in the battery went kaput, rather than make them stand around and wait for us to replace a battery or something because they're all soldered down inside, we just gave them a new tablet, and we took their used tablet in, and then we replaced the battery, and now we have this refurbished tablet. And so the idea was then when the next customer comes in, we don't give them a new tablet, we give them one of the refurbished tablets. Well, we've got a few refurbished tablets extra, more than we need. In fact, I believe there's 2 on the website right now that are on special for $199. So that's significantly less than the $500 list price for them. So if it's something you want to take a look at, if you've always wanted a Windows 10 tablet, you can get a keyboard for them, you can get a screen protector for them, you can get a case for them, all the normal stuff you can get for a tablet, but those are on special under the specials as well. So while you're taking a look at the certificates, you can take a look at that as well. All right, 402, gosh, it's only been a few years, I'm going to have to break this habit. 866-496-8772. That's 866-496-8772. That is the number to call into the program to ask a question or make a comment. Now, we're going to go into break. More of the show, including a resolution to the Roomba spy. You like the Roomba vacuum? Is it spying on you? We're going to tell you what's going on with the CEO is going to tell us if the Roomba is mapping your possessions. Coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations web design team is staffed by professional business consultants, photographers, artists, and coders. Don't let your slow web guys cost your business money. Call 934-9423 and find out how Schrock can bring you more web traffic and paying customers.
In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut Musket Factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation. The modular computer from Schrock Innovations. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we specialize in all things technology and making that technology work for you. So, the number to call into the program, if you want to be a part of the show, ask a question, make a comment, we do put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate here. If you call in and ask a question, that number is 866-496-8772. That's 866-496-8772. 8772. Let's jump into those phones real quick. Richard, how can I help you today on Compute This?
Good morning, Thor. I just have a quick question. I've got a Samsung notebook, and it's about 5 years old, and it's only cost me a little bit less than $300. I have a keyboard that has gone out, and it's probably gone out about 6 months ago, but only certain letters, or certain keys. F8, F9, 8, 9, O, L, and period no longer work, so I have to use the onboard keyboard.
Well, that's fun.
So I've dealt with it for 6 months, or attach another USB keyboard to it. But I would like to have my keyboard back. It's 5 years old. Is it worth me approaching that?
All right. So it is a Windows-based computer, not like a Chromebook or anything.
Correct. It's a Windows 7 starter.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So here's the deal. For a keyboard, you're looking at an hour of labor. Have you ever been into the service center before, Richard?
No, I missed out on the maintenance prevention coupon last time, and last week when I was listening to the show, I jumped on it, so I'm going to be bringing that into Omaha sometime.
Okay, so here's what I would recommend. When you first visit our service center, you're a new customer, and new customers always get their first hour of labor free of charge. but you cannot combine the new customer discount with a second discount, like a maintenance checkup sale. So what I would do first, because the hour of labor is $110. So what I would do first for your keyboard, a keyboard's only like $60. But if you combine that with the hour of labor, you're like all of a sudden at like $170 to replace a keyboard. And on a $300 computer, that's a tough road to hoe. You know what I mean? So what I would do is I would bring the unit in first and say, I'd like to have my keyboard replaced, and I'm a new customer. And then we can do that job and get the keyboard replaced as a new customer. And then, as a second thing, after that, you can come in and say, okay, I want a preventative maintenance checkup, and I have a certificate. Here you go. Because we can't combine them both in the same visit. I know it sounds stupid, like, in your brain, you're like, come on, Thor. I mean, any human can look at that. Unfortunately, it's not humans looking at it. It's the invoicing system that says, no, you can't use two discounts at the same time. So I would get the keyboard done first. With the coupon, it's actually pretty affordable, and it's something that I would recommend.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I was sitting there saying, I was like, okay, so how much is this going to cost me, and is it even worth it because it's 5 years old and it's probably going to be time. And I'm seriously looking at one of your modular tablets you've got for $199. That's a fantastic price on that.
Well, you're looking at one of the two then that are up there.
Correct. Yeah, I saw that. It says that it only has two. So, okay, but that was my question because I just wanted to make sure that it was even going to be worth, repairing an older quote-unquote computer. So.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you for the call, Richard. By the way, Richard, did you use the new number when you called in?
Yes, I did. I used the 800 number when I called in.
He's the first person. I need a bell or something like ding, 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 ding. Yay, Richard. Richard gets the first caller ever on the new 800 number, 866-496-8772. Thank you for your call. Oh, fireworks. We have fireworks for Richard.
I'm so honored. Thank you, Thor.
Thank you. Have a great day. This isn't Kim Commando. We don't have sound effects. Come on. I make them with my mouth here, the old school way, Like there's a horse coming. Whee! There he is. Like we need a fire. Give me some tinfoil I can crinkle up for the fire, All right. It's bad. All right. Thank you for the call, Richard. I appreciate it. All right. 866-496-8772. Richard is a shoe-in right now for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate as well. All right. So a little programming note on Monday. Okay, it used to be there were multiple Compute This shows, and I was doing multiple shows every week. And so right now, it causes problems in my brain because I have to try to remember what I talked about on one show or the other show, and sometimes I forget and I cover something on one show and not the other. And as a listener, it wasn't really optimal for you because you had to listen to two different shows. Well, there were some personnel changes at one of the other stations I was on, and as a result, the co-host was leaving. So I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to bring the shows together. But I had to do one more show on the other station. So we got out one of the original co-hosts from Compute This from almost 19 years ago. He did one of the first shows with me. It was a bad show. It was like a half an hour program, and I was like, yeah, we're located, yeah, over there. Oh, do I have to talk? Talk into the microphone. Okay, that makes more sense. I was just a young pup, at that point. But we got Dale out, and Dale was like, hey, I'll do the show with you. So he's doing the show, and it was really cool because we got to do a show of like what's changed in the last 19 years. And we got to laugh at a lot of the stupid stuff that we did 19 years ago compared to today. And, anytime people criticize like, oh, you should do it this way. I'm like, 19 years ago, you see how we did it? It was bad. It was real bad. But in the meantime, one of the things, that's changing is this 800 number. And I thought, surely this 800 number must spell something, right? So there's websites you can go to, and you can put in the phone number. So first I just tried the base phone number, 496-8772. And so when we come back from the break, I'm going to tell you what these phone numbers spell. And you can tell me which one I should use to it could be like 866 computer, that could be a good one, right? Maybe it spells that. So we're going to it's a lot easier to do it with this website than to look at the phone keys and try to figure it out, and you don't beep everybody while you're talking to them. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, more of the show, and the Roomba Spy, little robotic vacuum mapping your whole house and selling it to people on the internet. It's like it's casing your house. It's like a robot thief? I don't know. It's vacuuming up all kinds of goods from your home. We'll tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
Don't have time to bring your computer into the service center? Schrock Innovations offers free pickup and drop-off as well as in-home and on-site repair services. Call 934-9423 for an appointment today.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. You guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com. In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut Musket Factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation. The modular computer from Schrock Innovations.
This morning, the president back on Twitter again, this time goading senators in his party. Bring back from the dead the effort to repeal and replace Obamacare, tweeting, "Don't give up, Republican senators, the world is watching." And the president tweeting criticism of China not solving the North Korea problem. This, as analysts say, their latest intercontinental ballistic missile probably has the range to strike the entire U.S. This morning, the U.S. went forward with already planned tests of an anti-missile defense system to the White House and ABC's David Wright.
The test of the THAAD system actually occurred in Alaska. That's because this ICBM has the potential, analysts say, to reach cities here in the U.S. So the concern is that North Korea could lob a missile and have it land in our backyard. They want to prevent that from happening.
In Turks and Caicos, a 57-year-old American man from Washington, D.C., who was vacationing, was shot by a masked gunman, medevac to Fort Lauderdale and in stable condition. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Today will be seasonable with partly cloudy conditions and an afternoon high of 86 degrees. Temperatures will fall off into the 60s for tonight, but near average temperatures will continue for the start of the work week with highs in the mid-80s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm WOWT6 meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we build computers, we secure computers, we do tablets with Windows on them, we do data recovery services. If you have a device that's failing or if you can't get some data off an old hard drive or something, we can do that in the service center for you. We have Omaha's fully equipped data recovery. In fact, Nebraska's fully equipped data recovery center. We've seen a couple other smaller shops in town start to get some of the more automated equipment for data recovery, which is great. They'll be able to provide an additional layer of service to their customers. But boy, when it comes down to the stuff that is actually bad, that isn't just kind of sort of bad, there's only there are two places in town that you can go to get that recovered. One of them is a forensics lab. The other one is Schrock Innovation. So great point. You know, I have two jobs on our imagers right now in the Omaha Service Center being recovered. Each of these recoveries, if we would have sent them off to, say, Drive Savers in California, would have cost $1,300 to $3,500. Each one of those is being recovered in our service center right now for $800. So it's an incredible way that we can save you some money. Not that we don't try to keep you out of trouble to begin with. So, for example, if you have not heard of Drive Advisor before, Drive Advisor is a program that we built. Adam at the Skunk Works over at Schrock built this one up. It was it started off as kind of a what if kind of thing, because there's other programs out there that you can buy that do this, but that's the thing, you have to buy them. Drive Advisor is completely free. There is no revenue model. There's no no pop-up ads, no free version versus paid version, anything like that. It's just straight up free. It does ask for your email address. That's so it can send you an email. That's the only why else ask someone for their email address, right? No, it can send you an email to tell you your hard drive is going bad, because most hard drives don't just suddenly fail. Sometimes they do. I've had a couple people email me, hey, my hard drive went from 100% health to dead. Why didn't Drive Advisor warn me? Well, if it's like a physical thing, if something breaks physically, there's no warning for that. If you drop the computer and the drive breaks, or you drop the external over on its side and it gets stuck, there's no way for Drive Advisor to predict that. But wear out kind of failures where the drive is slowly dying and you just don't know it until it's too late, Drive Advisor can actually detect that and send you an alert. It comes up on your screen and it sends you an email to tell you the name of the computer and the letter of the drive that's going bad. That way, if you have more than one computer, you can install it on all your computers with the same email address, because it's not really creating an account or anything. There's no tracking your account or making sure you've paid for this copy, because it's free. It blows my mind that more people haven't installed Drive Advisor on their computers than have already. But it's completely free. You can get it at driveadvisor.com, because it's made in America. driveadvisor.com. 866-496-8772. That's the number to join us on the program today. Ask a question or make a comment. You could be in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. You could also call 866-IU-SPA. Or 866-JIM-UPS-A. How about 866-I-Your-Pa? Is that who's your daddy? I-Your-Pa? 866-I-9-MUS. That's not even a word. Come on. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a different search, and I'm going to include the 866 in it. So that was just the 496-8772. So if I put in the full number, 866-496-8772. We'll see what that gives us. But in the meantime, let's jump into those phones. Lewis, Lewis. It's Lewis, right?
It's Lewis.
Lewis, all right, cool. Glad I didn't call you a woman's name. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hi, Thor. Recently, I had a family member visiting from out of town, and she connected her laptop to my Wi-Fi. I gave her my Wi-Fi password to do her work, and she got a malware pop-up on her laptop, and she called the number purportedly to a Microsoft technician.
Yep.
And she let the technician remote into her laptop. And so the conversation, got kind of heated, and she realized that it was not probably legitimate.
Right.
And she disconnected and, didn't continue. Now, it did end up wiping out her laptop. And but my question is, what's the risk to my Wi-Fi router and the other computers connected to my Wi-Fi?
All right, there is no risk to it. So first of all, the thing that popped up on her screen was probably just a pop-up. Just an individual single little pop-up that came up on the screen, and it's kind of funny that you bring this up, because we actually have some new spots we've cut, because I can't cut a microphone like I used to do it during the break on Facebook, and so the spots, we haven't added new spots in a while, so we need some new spots, right? Some new commercially kind of things that are actually informative and helpful. Let's make tips rather than commercials, okay? So we made all these tips, and we literally have one that's like, what should I do when the Microsoft scam number pops up on my screen? And it goes through what not to do. Don't call the number. Don't let them into the computer. But the thing is, she let them into her computer, not your network. Because there are safeguards in place, just default safeguards from Microsoft. And these guys are not incredibly technologically sophisticated. The scam works like this. Something pops up on your screen, so you call the 800 number because you think you have a virus or something, and Microsoft is out of their benevolence telling you that you have an infection. So you click on the thing, it takes you to the website, you click on the thing, you call the 800 number, you get a guy on the phone. who says, okay, let me access your computer. So you give him access to your computer. And he does all these crazy scans and stuff and finds all this stuff that's wrong. There's nothing really wrong. They're just fake scans. Finds all this stuff that he says is wrong. And then for a low, low price of only like $400, he'll fix it all for you and give you lifetime protection from any bad things that would ever happen to you in life again for only $400. And this cool bottle of snake oil. It's amazing. So bottom line is some people pay it. Other people at that point wise up and say, hey, wait a minute, this isn't right. And then they just hang up on the guy, but they forget that he's still in their computer. So we have lots of computers coming in like, can you remove the password or can you unlock my computer because the guy, locked it up or did some damage to it or deleted a bunch of my files when I hung up on him out of spite. So I can see why you're saying she had to have her whole laptop, reformatted because he probably damaged it out of spite after she didn't pay him. But your computers are okay. So the bottom line is never, ever, ever. Your IP address, they'll tell you your IP was targeted and all this stuff. Your IP was not targeted. You were not triggered. Everything is okay. It's completely random. It's like when they used to call people and say, we've detected your computer has a virus. And people would say, Thor, how did they know I had a computer? I'm like, odds are you probably have a computer, just saying, odds are, if they call someone and say, I don't have a computer, they just hang up the phone, no skin off their back. But 9 times out of 10, when they call somebody, they're going to have a computer. And so you weren't targeted by this. There's no residual thing waiting to spring on you. The best thing that you can do is to make sure that you have Symantec Endpoint for your antivirus software and to make sure that you have Secure Updater to keep all your third-party stuff up to date. You do those 2 things, and your stuff will be good to go.
Okay, great. What type of antivirus do you recommend for a Mac computer?
Gotcha. That's a great question because you can actually run Symantec Endpoint on Mac as well. So it's the same thing. It's the same software. Symantec Endpoint is what we recommend for Mac. You can get that at our service center. You can't buy the Mac version on our website because of the logistics difference in installing on a Mac versus a PC. We have to do it. We can do it over the Schrock desk, so you don't have to bring the computer in. If you call any one of the 3 service centers, where do you live, Louis?
I live in Bellevue.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So the Papillion Service Center is going to be the closest one to you. Their number is 402-884-0880. You give them a call and then say, hey, I just want to do a Schrock desk to buy Endpoint. And they'll do it right there over the phone. It'll take about 20 minutes, and you'll be up and done.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right, 866-496-8772. Or, if you will, the Tong Yu Spa. Just dial Tong Yu Spa, and you'll get right to me. Or the Tom I U Spa. Lots of spas here. Spa, paw, spa. 8 no I yours a. What? This is not even. All right, we found 11-letter mnemonics by adding an extra digit to the end. Oh, don't you love that when they tell you to call like 1-800-FIX MY TRUCK now? And you're dialing and it starts ringing, but you're still pushing the buttons because it's, So if we add a letter on the end, it could be the 2IU SPAR or the Ton IU SPAT. Just call me at Ton IU SPAT, okay? Or just call 866-496-8772. It's just as easy. All right. So let's jump back into those phones real quick, and let's take Joe's call. Joe, how can I help you today on Compute This?
Oh, hi. Say I'm calling from Montana.
Yes, sir.
I enjoy listening to your radio program. When you were having the Ultimate Update, the upgrade computer, I ordered that back in April, actually.
Okay.
And, I never did receive it. I called in periodically.
Oh, boy.
Asked for updates. Please send me an email. Let me know, what's going on with it. And I never heard.
You haven't received the computer yet?
Well, that's just it. I never received it. I actually sent a couple emails. I never heard back from that. So I didn't know what else to do. So I did a chargeback here on the 18th of July.
Okay.
And a week after that, I finally got a call back saying that the computer was ready. So,
okay.
I enjoy your program. I like the concept of your computers. It makes sense, but I just.
Well, that's not a good experience, Joe.
I have had a terrible experience.
No, that's not a good experience at all. And, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, I was just, one of the things when we introduced the online ordering, there were a couple glitches in the beginning, and I'm looking through here right now, and I was, as you were talking, once you finished, I understood. I'm looking through, I don't see any order for anybody in our entire system named Joe, and we have no late computers as of this point. Everything is either in stock or in construction or delivered. And then, so what you said makes sense now. So I guess, Joe, I apologize for the trouble with that. If there's something I can do to make that right with you, we're human too, and, we make mistakes, obviously. And the fact that when you called in, that's the thing that bothers me the most is that you called in and you weren't able to figure out what was going on. So it's obvious we need to do something to track these internally a little bit better. Especially, I think we've had like 3 computers that we've shipped since we launched the system. So you would have been number 3. So I know that statistic, but I wasn't aware that your computer had not been delivered. So obviously that didn't make it up the food chain to me. Otherwise, I would have taken care of it. So if there's something that I can do to make it right, Joe, I'd be open to suggestions on your end. If there's something I can do, obviously this is not a good example of the level of service that we provide at Schrock. We make mistakes like any other company does, but when we make them, we own them. And we try to make them right.
Okay. Well, I could go. I don't want to. I could go into more. Details of it. But if you wanted to, send me an email or call me, another time, I could, elaborate.
Well, sure. Do we have Joe's phone number?
I don't want to. Take up too much of your time here.
No, you're all right, Joe. I appreciate that. I want that feedback from you. So I've got your phone number. The screener has your phone number here for the $25 certificate, basically. So I'll tell you what. Once the show is over here, I'll give you a call, and then let's try to figure out exactly what happened here, so that I can make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else again.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call, Joe. I appreciate it. All right, 402. I did it again. 866-496-8772 or 2IU-SPAT. 2 TOO. See, the wrong 2. What if you put the number 2, So you can't use that. How about ton IU-SPAT? You can give me a call at ton IU-SPAT or 866-496-8772. Paul, you're next up on the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yeah, I just installed your Drive Advisor last week, and it's working great. I just want to know, what is the correct temperature that I should be seeing for my drive? Like, it's reading 44 degrees centigrade right now.
Yeah, it'll have different colors. If it's a problem temperature, it'll be red. And if it's so basically it depends on the drive, and different drives have different temperature allowances. It depends if it's an external or an internal drive, if it's a laptop drive or a desktop drive. So there's no correct temperature. There's the temperature. The drive manufacturer sets a temperature in the drive that, like, this is the normal operating temperature. And so if it exceeds that temperature, the temperature number will turn red, and the little thermometer will go up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay, very good. And one other thing is, like, you have to double-click on the little icon in the lower right part of your toolbar for it to actually open up, because I noticed that you have a larger icon on your home page.
And it just launches the program.
That just launches the program. But it fools you, because on the first day that you download it, it actually works from there.
Interesting. That's good feedback. I've never tried to launch it from that icon, because when Adam designed it, I said just make it launch from the taskbar down there, because I want it minimally invasive. I don't want a bunch of garbageware installed with this. I don't want anything extra that it doesn't need. But that's a good point, because you have this icon on your desktop and you think you can double click on it, and it just tries to open the program again.
Yeah, so that's what I discovered. But I actually called your service center last week asking him about it, because I was frustrated, because I was clicking on the big one, and he said, no, you have to click on the lower right one. And after I did that, it worked fine. So you were very helpful with the follow up on that. So I appreciate that a lot.
Hey, no sweat, and I'll pass that on to Adam too. That's because he does make revisions to the program periodically and pushes them out. So I think there was just a revision last week to deal with a couple buggy things. So, but I'll add that to the next revision. That maybe that should be a shortcut to the actual interface window. I guess the challenge that he has then is, let's say for some reason, because you can exit Drive Advisor. Like, you can right-click on the Drive Advisor icon and say exit down there by the clock. Well, if you exit, then how do you relaunch it? if you don't have a shortcut to launch the program. So I could see why, he made the decision he made, but maybe there's a better way to do that. I'll investigate that with him.
Okay, appreciate it. But it's a great program. It's working fine for me so far.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the call here. All right. 866-496-8772. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Connie's call. We'll have information on whether or not your Roomba is spying on you. And also, a staple of the internet is dying. A staple is dying. A program that we all have used is going away. What is it and how is it going to impact you? And no, it's not Microsoft Paint. That's going away too. I use Paint. All right, we'll tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations is Nebraska's award-winning service leader. When you have a problem with your computer, call Schrock at 934-9423 and mention the free hour of labor for new customers coupon to try Omaha's best computer repair service for free.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. You guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com.
All righty, guys. Welcome back into Compute This. Final segment of the show today, 866-496-8772. The discussion on Facebook is hilarious right now. People are up in arms about Paint. Oh, no. All right, so Microsoft Paint is going bye-bye, but they're replacing it with a new version of Paint that allows you to do 3D modeling. So, like, it wasn't Paint supposed to be like, at first it was like, okay, it's a cool program you can draw with. And then it was like, then all the Adobe stuff came out and Paint was kind of an afterthought. And now it's kind of like, I use Paint for like screenshots and stuff. And of course, all the guys laughed at me and said, well, you could use all these other programs that are even better for screenshots. I'm like, yeah, I know I could. I'll learn a new way to do it. That's fine. But I had a way that worked. But if it's going away, it's going away. And, but the thing is, I've actually tried to do some 3D modeling and there isn't any free software out there that's really intuitive. Like, I think I had three little Weebelows that were moving up, and I wanted to make them, they were bears at the time, and little Cub Scouts, and I wanted to make them neckerchief slides. If they have the little neckerchief they wear around their neck, and then the slide goes up and holds it in place. And so you could get 3D models off Thingiverse. We have a Schrock 3D printer. But basically, we got the model off Thingiverse to print them. So I printed the actual neckerchief slide, but I wanted to put the first letter of their name on there. So I had to draw the letter in a program, and there was a free version of Sketch, which has been since then bought by Google. But you get a 30-day trial of it. So I used Sketch to do it, and it took only to print 3 letters, individual letters. It only took me like half a day. So if there's a cool, easier way to do that, that'd be great. All right, Connie, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Morning, Schrock.
Good morning.
I recently had the new Windows 10 update. I have a Schrock computer.
Okay.
This is the second time when I've had a Windows update that I've had to bring my computer in because it messed it up.
Yes.
I'd like to know what is happening and why this is happening. I received a notice that I had to check my privacy settings before the update, and I called in, and they told me I didn't need to be concerned about privacy settings. Then when it came up again, I called in again, and they said don't change anything, so I didn't. The other thing I'm concerned about is I have a password to get into my computer, and the program tells me that the computer will restart several times. So when I let it update, I just walked away. I didn't know what to do with it, and then I had to bring it in.
Gotcha.
That's my problem.
Okay, Connie.
What can I do to prevent this?
This is a great question because I've gotten this question in the service center myself from other customers. So basically what's happening is updates have changed. It used to be with Windows 7, Windows 8, if you got an update from Microsoft, it would be, okay, so here is a patch that was installed on the existing operating system to change something, to change the way it worked, to make it more secure. Now what's happening instead is these large updates that are coming down are entire new operating systems. So if you recall, back in the day, we did the Windows 10 upgrade special where you could bring your computer in and have us upgrade it from whatever version of Windows it was on to Windows 10 at a fixed price, where you could have options to choose backups and things like that if you wanted to. So on one hand, this is kind of like that, except now you're going from Windows 10 to Windows 10, so the risk is a lot lower. You know, millions and millions of people get those updates and have no problems. You're just really, really lucky, Connie, that, you know, you get the privilege of having your computer trashed every single time. It's not funny. I mean, I get it. But in all seriousness, what's happening is you're getting a new operating system. So it's taking your old operating system, putting it in like a holding area, installing a new operating system, and then moving all of your files and folders and everything over to the new operating system. Most of the time, the only reason that people's computers fail installing the new updates is because their hard drives are bad. Your hard drive is not bad, though, because we've had it in, we've checked it. It's just there's something going on that has messed up your drive, unfortunately, or messed up your particular updates. It shouldn't happen every time. And unfortunately, there's no rhyme or reason because every update that comes out is different than the update before it. And so it's not like we can say, well, it happens to you every time because this consistent thing is wrong. There's always something new. You've just unfortunately been the recipient of it. So as far as the privacy settings go, that was an accurate thing to say. You're not going to have to worry about it. Don't sweat it. As far as what to do about future updates, you don't have the choice of turning the updates off. They're going to happen. So I guess, you know, let's let this thing go and see if you're 3 for 3. And if you are 3 for 3, if it does it again, I guess you're just really, really unlucky. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we could go through it and look for a problem with the computer, but we would have found that by now. So the other thing I could suggest, Connie, is you could subscribe to the Schrock Desk. It does get you half off hourly labor services. So if something does, I know that's not a great solution, but if something does happen, at least it's not costing you an arm and a leg to get it fixed. All right, thank you for the call, Connie. I got you in the drawing as well for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Today's winner is Lewis. Lewis, congratulations. You've got yourself $25 at any of the 3 Schrock Innovation Service Centers. Stay tuned to the program here for the After Schrock Show. We'll be chatting about some of the changes to the program, kind of some of the tech stuff that's going on here. Maybe a sneak peek about the announcement coming out on KMTV Channel 3 tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow at 9:25. You want to tune into Channel 3 if you can't because you're in Lincoln or Maryland or South Dakota or whatever. We'll put it up on Facebook as well after the fact so you can take a look at it there. All right, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back again next Sunday. Oh, stay tuned to the Aftershock Show to hear about the Roomba and everything. We ran out of time. I'll get to it here in the Aftershock, and we'll talk to you next week on Compute This.
This is Nebraska's news, weather, and traffic station. This is News Radio 1110, KFAB, Omaha.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Confirmed reports this morning that the U.S. Missile Defense Agency just conducted a test of its THAAD anti-missile defense system. This is a day after North Korea's most successful missile test yet. That's a missile that analysts say could hit the U.S. President Trump lashing out at China on Twitter for not solving the North Korean problem. ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz.
What the president really wants China to do is cut off North Korea economically in other ways that will really put pressure on North Korea. They haven't done that. The president is right. They continue to say they will help, but there has been no real hard evidence they have.
The sound and video seemed much better today. That's true, Ron. The sound and video were much better because I had to come in about 15 minutes early and set up all the gear and make sure everything was good because I have one laptop here with a 15-inch screen, and it's recording the audio feed that is going to go out throughout the week to the other radio stations that are going to air Compute This. So I had to make sure I had a perfect audio file for that. But then I was also using the same computer to feed Facebook. So the problem is when I'm creating a master recording on this computer that I'm talking to right now, and I'm taking it out to Facebook, unfortunately I can't crack the mic during the breaks because then the master recording would have me talking over something else and it wouldn't sound very good. And some of the stations that air Compute This, they clip out the little Schrock commercials because they put their own commercials in. That's why I have to take the breaks. No, I don't need the break. You might need the break. I don't need the break. But I got to put the spots in there to get them a place where they can clip them out, put their own commercials in that they sell or whatever during the program. So a few logistic changes. And then the big one is if we're airing the show on multiple stations, I can't be dropping KFAB call-in numbers, you know. And I'm so used to saying 402-558-1110 or 800-543-1110. You know, how do you get out of that habit? So now I'm saying 866-496. But here's the secret. It's the same exact phone lines. So you can call it to 866-496-8772, or you can call it if we can't have any call-in numbers. They all still work just the same. So that's your little Facebook secret that you would only you know about. All right. Yeah, we're having sound problems here because my computer is doing a ton of stuff. So we got a lot going on here. Let me check my microphone levels. Hold on just a second. And I'm going to go to the microphone level for the microphone array and go to levels. And the levels are at 100% right now. So let me turn on my microphone boost. Sounds like Knight Rider. Turbo boost. All right, now we're at plus 30 decibels. That should be way better. Yeah, the Frozen, it's just dropping frames. We're on a Wi-Fi in here. So I don't have an actual wired connection. So isn't that wonderful? If anybody can hear me now, bad. Is anyone else having sound problems? Look at my face. That was ridiculous. Ah, boy. And, of course, the internet fails at this moment. Okay. Okay, so I boosted up the audio, but it looks like my frame rates are still frozen for some reason. And I don't know why they're frozen. Let's see if this OWS seems to be streaming still. And I'm getting good audio levels here now. Nobody can hear me at all now. Because this is exactly the same microphone that I was using last week for it. Alright, let's break this into halves. Alright, so audio, I know the video is trumped up. I can look at that and see that happening right now. But what I can't do is I can't hear any audio. I can see video, but I can't hear audio because I'm talking. Alright, no better. Couldn't even hear the secret. Okay, let's go to text. All right, I'm gonna do voice and text here. All right, doing voice and text. Wow, the web decides whether it will work. All right, so the secret is you can still use the KFAB calling numbers. I just can't save the air. Alright, so we are dropping some significant frames here. And my computer is still got battery. Let's see what else. Now we're back on power. The power outlet failed in a wall and dropped me a battery, which I don't know if that has an impact on the frame rate for the video, but we'll see that. So the power outlet and the wall failed. Just realized I was off battery the whole show. Okay. So let me know if that's better. Yeah. So tomorrow on CAM TV, we will have a guest from our new opinion location to announce where it will be. Okay, we are moving. All right. All right, are we still? All right, the problem that we're having with dropping frames, I think because the Wi-Fi is glitched out and then it never reconnected. The problem is if I kill the stream and restart it, guess what? It'll be a whole new Facebook live stream. So, I suppose, let's see. I'm gonna kill the stream and restart it to reconnect the Wi-Fi. Just a second. All right, guys, be right back.